Hi, this is Gloria from Blossoming by Grace and Grit. And this is the shopping cart testimony. I was sitting in an inner healing class, and the Lord was speaking to me about that I needed to forgive and that I needed to do it the right way. And this class was part of a program that I was a part of for a year and a half before I started writing the book called The Girl with the Low-Cut Dress. This is my testimony. It's a book that you can find on Amazon. So that day the Lord said, you need to start forgiving. You need to do the forgiveness work in order for me to do the best work in you. And I had already forgiven events and things that had happened in my childhood, but the Lord, I felt that He was calling me to something deeper, something really profound. And it was the weekend, and I said, well, I said to myself, well, I'm gonna have to go home, spend the weekend, do this process, but I have nothing to eat at home, so I'm gonna have to go grocery shopping. So I stopped at the market, I bought some food, I left, I put it in the trunk of my car, and I drove off, and I said, well, I'm gonna go to a fast food place. I was standing in line and in my car in the drive-thru when I realized that my purse was missing, and I started freaking out. I said, oh my gosh, I had just gotten paid $15,000 to replace my roof of my house. I had deposited the check that morning, and I said, my goodness, if I left my purse at the supermarket, there are so many different people. There's homeless people, people asking for money around that area. And I know that they're going to have this amazing Christmas gift because it was like 2 weeks away from Christmas. I was thinking all these things. I started crying. I started getting nervous. I started telling the Lord, Lord, you told me to go and forgive. You told me to do the process of forgiveness, and you're not this type of God. You wouldn't allow the enemy of my soul to rob me of this blessing. And all of a sudden, I felt this peace in my heart, and I felt that everything was going to be okay. And I didn't know how that was going to happen, but I said, Lord, I choose to trust you. I choose to trust you because you are a faithful God. And when I got to the window to order my food, I said to the man, I am so sorry. I don't have any money. I've lost my purse and I cannot order food, right? So I go back to the market, and I went inside the market and I asked everybody if somebody had turned in a purse. Nobody had turned in the purse. And so I went to the young man that does the carts, that he brings the carts inside the market, and I said, has anybody returned a purse? And he said, no ma'am, I'm so sorry. By this time I'm crying, I am freaking out. And he said, come with me, you look like you are super nervous, you're so upset, just relax, everything is gonna be okay, just come with me and I will help you look for your purse. Well, lo and behold, I looked far away, and it was like maybe 500 feet away from my car, and I saw this shopping cart, and I saw that it was under a tree, right? And it was far away, and I could see like a dark shadow on top of the shopping cart, and instinctively I knew that that was my purse. And I looked at it from far away, and I saw that my purse was there, and I could not believe what I saw. I could not believe that my purse had been under that tree on the shopping cart for almost 20 minutes and that nobody saw my purse. And when I started running towards the shopping cart, I said, Lord, you're amazing. You are so faithful. You are wonderful. I'm going to tell the whole world about this story and how you saved me and how you did not allow the enemy of my soul, the darkness, and everything that is coming against me today, wanting to prevent me from forgiving, which is going to set me free. Well, lo and behold, I got my purse, and then I gave testimony to the young man that helped me, and I said, you know what? God is amazing. God is so wonderful. He is so faithful. And I just want to tell you that this this purse has been in my shopping cart, here in this shopping cart under a tree for 20 minutes. And as I was leaving, I got into my car and I drove off. I started praising the Lord, and the Lord said to me, "This is what I do. This is what I do for my children." The Lord spoke to my heart, and he said, I blinded everybody. I shielded their eyes so that they would not find your purse, so that you could go home and forgive, because I am going to set you free today. And he did just that. Because that I believed and I practiced so many other religions, especially Santeria, which is a religion of my culture. I am Cuban, and I practiced Santeria all my life, and I believed in spiritualism and all of those things. I believe that I opened doors. There were portals of satanic activity. And for many years, almost all my life, I would see black shadows in back of me. I would see shadows. I would see just dark shadows around me. And I knew that that was a lot of satanic activity that I had opened because of the practices that I had been a part of. Well, that day when I was part of the inner healing process of the forgiveness that I did. I forgave my mother, I forgave my father for the neglect and all the things that happened in my childhood, all the things that wasn't done for me, like the natural parenting, the security, the nurturing, the love, the affection, all of those things. And I also asked forgiveness, because we form a part. We are part of the whole situation. And so that day was a glorious day for me. That day, I was no longer, after that day, I never knew what a day of depression was for me. Something lifted off of my life, and I saw no more shadows. There was no more darkness around me, and I forgave the right way. I revisited every memory, every painful situation, and I forgave, I released it, and then I asked forgiveness. And so I also asked forgiveness for the judgment that I had, regarding my parents and regarding their lives, and I understood, and because of the inner healing, I was able to understand that they did the best they could, and I just fell in love with them all over again. And despite all of the errors, despite all of the mistakes, despite of all of the things that they did, my dad ended up being killed by the police, and my mother went to jail when I was 17 years old. And despite all of those things, I was able to forgive and love on them and love them, love their memory, and honor them in such an amazing way. So I thank the Lord that day I did not lose my purse, because if I would have lost my purse, I would have never been able to follow through with what the Lord was asking me to do, which was forgive, because he wanted to set me free. That day would never have happened. And so I am thankful to God for his faithfulness. I am thankful to God that he is a good father. I am thankful to God that his voice is clear, and that I was able to be set free that day by the act of forgiveness. So thank you so much for listening to my shopping cart testimony and story. This is Gloria from Blossoming by Grace and Grit. My book is on Amazon if you want to read the whole story. Have a great day. If you like this message, don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell, also like and share. If you know of anyone that needs to hear a message like this, maybe they're depressed, maybe they're anxious or fearful, maybe they're struggling with a situation in their lives, send them a gift today, the gift of hope, the gift of encouragement. Thank you for listening to my messages. Have a blessed day.